Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be the narcissist knew you before you knew yourself. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So what does this mean? This means that when you entered the narcissistic relationship, it was advantage narcissist. It really was the whole time until you got the education, until you had your first light bulb moment and you figured out that this individual is a narcissist. Now, this could have been your mom, your dad, aunt, uncle, neighbor, friend, coworker, lover, could be your spouse, could be anybody. But the individual knew you. They knew who you were. They sized you up and they said, wow, this person, which is you, has so much to offer, or I am going to manipulate them as much as I possibly can. Either or both. The narcissist, they knew you. And many times post-narcissistic relationship, individuals say to themselves like, wow, what happened? Why did I go through this? I can't get over this. Like, why me? That ruined my life. Like, what is going on here? I don't get it. Now, many people don't get this message until later, post-narcissistic relationship, but I'm going to share it with you right now. The truth of the matter is that you had to go through that relationship with the narcissist. Whether you were born into a toxic family of narcissism, you married one of your best friends was one, a coworker, a teacher, a clergyman, a person of a community or organization that you are in or were a part of, you had to go through that relationship to get to this point right here, right now in time. And the narcissist, they knew you before you knew yourself. How I can say that is because once you put the pieces of the puzzle together that you experienced in the narcissistic relationship, and you actually dig in deep and you introspect and you are accountable and you understand that perhaps you were a yes person, perhaps you were an empath, perhaps you were a people pleaser, maybe you had no boundaries, maybe you were looking for love, maybe you trusted in humankind more than perhaps you should have. Any or all of these things, once you understand that, then you get the message and you understand that you are the priority. Placing another individual high up on the pedestal or believing that other individuals feel the same way you feel, that's not reality. It's not good. It's not healthy. We are all human beings. We are all on this journey called life. People in or people out of the narcissistic relationship, you in the community, and again, thank you very much for being here, you're having to do a lot of work. You're having to introspect. You're having to have a lot of sleepless nights. You're having to understand and process childhood wounds. And once you understand what narcissism is, meaning understanding the glossary, the terms, the definitions, once you get that part down, then you begin to look for other toxic relationships in your group, your circle. And then what do? You minimize those friendships. You remove toxic relationships. And you understand that any relationship you will be a part of now has to be reciprocal, which means it benefits you and it benefits the other person. There is no longer ignoring red flags, not trusting your instincts or paying attention to your intuition. Now what you must do is you must understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. So why I'm saying the narcissist knew you before you knew yourself? Because they knew they could manipulate you. They knew that they could take advantage of you. They knew that you were an empath and that you wouldn't quit and that you would continue to work for the relationship. They knew that they could gaslight you. They knew they could give you the silent treatment. They knew they could stonewall you. They knew that they had you exactly where they wanted you because you believed in the relationship and you kept working for it. And that's admirable. That's what you should have done. The point is there comes a point in time, hey guys, look behind me, beautiful. There comes a point in time when you no longer do that because perhaps you understand that the relationship wasn't to benefit you. It was to tear you down. It was not to build you up. It was to devastate you. It was to inflict harm. It was to triangulate you. It was for you to not be living your best life. The narcissist knew this. The narcissist wanted to take you down in the quagmire with them. And what they also wanted to do was to make sure that you weren't living your best life and that you weren't, there are geese behind me, I don't know how close they are, and that you weren't doing exactly anything other than what they wanted you to do. This is the narcissistic relationship. This is exactly what they wanted. Why I said again, as the thumbnail mentioned, why they knew you before you knew yourself, because you didn't know back then what you know now. You didn't have the wisdom. You didn't have the education. You certainly didn't have the experience on the toxic narcissistic relationship, but you have it now. And you're coupling all these things together, which equals what? That's right, it equals wisdom. And your wisdom is so powerful It's when you first take action. It's when you understand that, wow, I really had a lot to learn. I had to go through that relationship. I didn't want it to be that way, but yet that's what it was. It was not what I thought it was. It was actually quite opposite. And did this person have an advantage over me throughout the whole relationship? Absolutely they did. The reason I can say that is because they're a narcissist. And what did they do? They tried to crush you, to extract your resources. They wanted you thinking about them, pining for them, working for them, believing that they were good individuals, when in fact, what they were nothing but parasitic, blood-sucking vampires. Sorry, but it's true. These people were never authentic. They weren't genuine. They didn't have your best interest at heart. What they had was their intentions. They had their agenda, which included you for a period of time before you realized that this relationship didn't serve you, before you realized that there is narcissism on the planet and that you want nothing to do with it. That's a good thing. But when you understand who you are, and when you finally know who you are, that's when you block the narcissist. That's when you go no contact. You delete them. You remove all flying monkeys and people associated with the narcissist. This is when the tide turns. This is when it is checkmate or advantage you. This is when you no longer will tolerate these poor behaviors, because you had to go through the toxic narcissistic relationship to get to this point with me right here, right now. There was no other way. You couldn't avoid it. You can't change the past. You can't predict the future. You need to be living in the present moment. That is what I suggest so frequently on the channel. This is a life lesson. It's a lesson that perhaps you did not want to go through. I get it. I understand. But if you've broken the trauma bond, you've gone no contact, you've healed and or are well on the healing path, and you understand the relationship for what it was, now you know who you are. And so when the narcissist knew who you were even before you knew yourself, that line is completely true. It's 100% valid, because you didn't know who you were. If you did know who you were, most likely you wouldn't have tolerated that poor behavior. You see, this was a huge life lesson. It was a learning curve. You had to go through it. I had to go through it. Everybody on the planet is battling something, each and every one of us. Some people are battling multiple things, but to battle narcissism when you feel isolated and all alone, and you're working for a relationship, let's say it's a romantic relationship, or brother, sister, sibling, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, you're working for this individual because perhaps you are married to them, or in a long-term long-term relationship, or maybe it's your bloodline. You believe these people have your best interest at heart, and why would they hurt you? Why would they inflict pain and misery upon you? Because they can, and they want to control your emotions, and they want to disrupt your energy. This is what the narcissistic relationship is all about. It's about smoke and mirrors, devastation, manipulation, little bubbles of people. That's what it is. So when the narcissist knew you before you knew yourself, it's completely true. You're on the channel. You're getting stronger every day. You're getting the wisdom. You are experiencing the community, meaning you're sharing your insight with the community and they're sharing it with you. You are a collective part of the group now. You are part of the people that speak the same language, which is all of us in the community. You are getting so much better. You're now awakened and aware. And you know what I'm talking about because you're this far in the video. Having said all these things, this is when you really find yourself. You find your purpose, you find your path. And it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or above. The point is you got the message whenever you received it. Some people receive the message earlier in life, and that's a great thing. Painful, but a great thing. Others receive it later in life. Again, painful, and some people wish they had received it earlier. It doesn't matter when you receive it. What matters is that it is received and now you take action on it, which means you now become the priority. You don't become a people pleaser. You learn the life lesson, and now you know who you are. And you know what you will tolerate, and you know what you won't tolerate. You know what people belong in your life and others that perhaps can be removed. This is the path. This is what you must do. Take action. If not now, when? This is a blessing in disguise. Now, you may not see it that way right now. You're like, Andrew, it feels like anything but a blessing. What are you talking about? That's because you have more work to do. You have more healing to do. Perhaps you have to heal childhood wounds. Perhaps you have to introspect more. You have to get the message loud and clear, which is breaking communication with the narcissist, blocking them, no contact, living your best life, understanding this is something you had to go through, and knowing that, yes, in fact, the narcissist did know you before you knew yourself, but now you do know yourself, or you're getting to know yourself, and you don't need people to regulate yourself. What you need is abundance and beauty and growth and your bright future. What does the narcissist need? They need people as they look at them as supplies or tools to be used up and thrown away. That's what the narcissist looks at every relationship. Bear in mind, again, every narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. Do you want to stick around in that relationship and be abused more? Of course you don't. I didn't either. I wouldn't wish these kind of relationships upon anybody, but you experienced it, you went through it. So from that, you need to take a lifelong lesson. You can't change the past. You can't predict the future. You need to be living in the present moment and have boundaries up and understand you are beautiful, you're abundant, you're bright. And the narcissist knew you before you knew yourself. It's a fact, but now you know yourself and you know what you will tolerate and what you won't. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the special guests in the background. They were cute. This is, sorry. I hope you liked the video. I love doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Remember, wherever you are on the planet, you are not alone. Continue to move forward each and every day. Live your best life. Take this as a life lesson. I understand it's not easy, but you too can do it. Take it one day at a time. Move forward. God bless you. I love you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye, guys. And it's not cold today.